Yep, I am back again, and this time I'm back with another top 10 video. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for quite a while now, and this is my top 10 favorite comedies. And out of all the top 10 videos that I have done on my channel, this is one of the hardest that I have ever done. So, some of these comedies may not be your favorite. Some of these comedies may be your favorite. And if you love all these comedies like I do, fantastic. But if you hate these comedies, fantastic. I respect your opinion. So, let's start with number 10. And number 10 is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. A lot of people would pick Dumb and Dumber as their favorite Jim Carrey movie. However, as much as I love Dumb and Dumber, it is not my favorite Jim Carrey movie. What is it? In my opinion, it is Ace Ventura. One of the reasons why I love this movie is because of the story. Okay, on paper, the story may sound stupid, but when you watch the actual movie, it's really funny. And of course, I gotta talk about Jim Carrey's iconic performance as Ace Ventura. Oh my gosh. Jim Carrey knocks it out of the park as Ace Ventura. I can't imagine any actor except him playing this role. Alrighty then. Let's move on to number 9. And number 9 is Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon Dynamite is everything I want a movie to be. If you guys have not seen Napoleon Dynamite, stop what you're doing right now and watch it. So, if you're wondering, what makes Napoleon Dynamite a great movie? Well, it's funny, the performances are outstanding, and the story is really simple, and it has a really heartwarming message. And oh my gosh, Napoleon's dance scene during the talent show, that is one of my favorite moments in cinematic history. I'm not going to give away what happens during it, but if you watch the movie, you'll get it, and it's hilarious. And remember, vote for Pedro. Alright, moving on to number 8. And number 8 is Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Ah, yes. Remember Mike Myers? Remember when he had a career? I can literally go on every day quoting Austin Powers. $1 billion. Yeah, baby, yeah! Austin Powers is one of those movies that you must see before you die. And say what you want about the sequel, Spy Who Shagged Me and Goldmember. While they were enjoyable, they weren't as funny as the first Austin Powers, though. Alright, moving on to number 7. And number 7 is Caddyshack. It's in the hole! It's in the hole! It's in the hole! If you guys don't understand that, it's a quote from Caddyshack. One of the reasons why Caddyshack is a great comedy, it's not because it's funny, it's not because it's quotable, it's not because it's stupid, but it knows it's stupid. It's because it has one of the best cats in movie history. Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, Rodney Dangerfield, Ted Knight. If anyone asks me what my favorite sports comedy is, it'll be Caddyshack. If you guys have not seen Caddyshack, I'm begging you, go watch it right now. You will laugh your head off while watching it, and you will be quoting it non-stop. Okay, moving on to number 6. And number 6 is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. The perfect movie to watch on Thanksgiving with your family. Steve Martin and John Candy's chemistry in this movie is perfect. It's what makes this movie a great comedy. And rest in peace, John Candy. You are so funny. And rest in peace, John Hughes. Thank you for not only making this movie, but for making some of the best movies of the 1980s. And obviously, my favorite part in the entire movie is Steve Martin's rant when he can't rent the car, and it just makes me laugh so hard every time I watch it. Alright, moving on to number 5. And number 5 is Shaun of the Dead. It's not even an argument. Shaun of the Dead is the best horror comedy ever made. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost's chemistry is hilarious in this movie, and director Edgar Wright has made some of the best comedies of all time. This is one of them, and he has another movie coming out this year called Baby Driver, and I finally saw the trailer for that, and let's see how it goes. If you guys have not seen Shaun of the Dead, I highly recommend watching it. It's hilarious. However, if you don't like British humor, you might either like it or not like it. Alright, moving on to number 4. And number 4 is Blazing Saddles. Surprisingly, there are a lot of people out there who think Blazing Saddles is extremely racist. Okay, here's the thing. That's bullcrap. Blazing Saddles is not trying to be racist. It's making fun of racism. I don't care what anyone says. Blazing Saddles is the best Mel Brooks movie. And yes, I have seen Spaceballs. And while I do think it's funny, I don't think it's as, like, laugh out loud funny as Blazing Saddles. If you really love Mel Brooks humor, like me, you will love Blazing Saddles. But if you're really sensitive towards, like, racism and, like, political correctness and all that other crap, I wouldn't be so sure. But you'll still think it's funny, though. And by the way, rest in peace, Gene Wilder. Your performance in Blazing Saddles is one of the best performances of your entire career. Alright, moving on to number 3. And number 3 is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Bueller. Just like with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, another John Hughes movie. And Ferris Bueller's Day Off might be my favorite movie that he has ever directed. It's funny, it's quotable, it's relatable, and it's simple. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it's just about a kid who fakes being sick, who just ditches school just to take a day off with his best friend named Cam and his girlfriend, who wanders the streets of Chicago. And Matthew Broderick was born to play Ferris Bueller. Out of all of the performances he has played in a movie, Ferris Bueller is his best performance. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop around and look once in a while, you could miss it. Alright, let's move on to number 2. And number 2 is Ghostbusters. Yeah, you guys knew this movie was gonna be on here. Here is how much I love Ghostbusters. If you have seen Ghostbusters, but you don't like it, you don't think it's funny at all, you think it's one of the most overrated movies of all time, you should not watch movies. You should not watch comedies either. Like, you seriously should not watch movies ever again. That's how much I love Ghostbusters. I cannot imagine anyone playing the Ghostbusters squad than Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Ernie Hudson. These 4 guys have great chemistry. I can literally go on all day quoting Ghostbusters. That's how quotable it is. He slimed me. Dogs and cats living together. It's mass hysteria. No one steps on his shirts in my town. And yet, I have seen the reboot that came out last year with all female cats. And I did review that when it first came out. And I don't hate it as much as everyone else does. I actually quite enjoyed it. And yes, I do agree that it's not quite as good as the original, though. So yeah, Ghostbusters. It's not only one of my favorite comedies, but it's one of my all-time favorite movies, period. Okay, let's finally move on to the moment we have all been waiting for. My number 1 favorite comedy. And my number 1 favorite comedy of all time is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Tid's but a scratch. A scratch? Your arm's off. No, it isn't. Then what's that then? I bet worse. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. And there are more quotes from Monty Python and Holy Grail that I can quote, but I wouldn't have time though. One of the reasons why Monty Python and the Holy Grail is my favorite comedy of all time is because it's not just quotable, it's not just hysterical, but is self-aware of itself. Yes, it knows it tries to be a fantasy movie that takes place during the King Arthur times, but it actually takes place during modern times. And yes, it's very, very stupid, but it knows it's stupid, just like the first Dumb and Dumber. If you guys have not seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I'm disappointed in you. It's one of the few movies that I love and you must watch before you die. If you guys have not seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I'm begging you, go watch it right now. It will probably become your favorite comedy of all time, and it's my number one favorite comedy, and it forever will be. Alright guys, that's it for my top 10 favorite comedies. And I have a question for you guys. What are your top 10 favorite comedies? Whatever they are, comment below and let me know. And if you want to see more videos, just be sure to subscribe.